Hello, folks. Welcome to the Life Hacks Podcast. I am your host, Steve Smith. On today's episode, we're doing a little something different. This is what we're calling the Quick Hacks segment. It's going to be about a 20 or 30 minute show. I don't know, depends on what the feel goods are. But yeah, this is going to be a 20 or 30 minute show, and it's called the Quick Hacks edition. And what we're going to do, I'm going to pull in a guest, random guest. I might do some of these on my own. I don't know. But tonight, we have a special guest. He was on episode 1 of my podcast. He liked it so much, he's coming back for episode 2 of the Quick Hacks podcast. And tonight is episode 2. I will introduce this fine gentleman in just a second. Hang tight. Folks, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Quick Hacks. I am your host, Steve Smith, and tonight we have my good buddy, Jon Tate, on the show. If you recall, Jon Tate was on episode 1, and he has come back for some fun. All right, Jon Tate, what are you doing out there tonight?
Man, I'm hanging out with you. So I guess I went either right or wrong somewhere along the lines.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So I'm definitely glad to be back and glad to give this Quick Hacks thing a shot and see what happens, man.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming back on, man. We had a good time on that first episode. I know I did. I got a lot of good feedback for that too, man, just so you know.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, it reached out and touched some people, and that was the whole purpose of that. You know, the Life Hacks podcast is about life and, you know, the ups and downs of life and learning from life. And, you know, we're all students of life, and that's kind of the main vibe of the main show. But this show is going to be the Quick Hack show, and we are just going to pick about 4 or 5 questions, and we're just going to maybe scramble each other's brains, maybe not. We're going to have some fun, man. This show is going to be about fun and laughter, and I'm sure there's going to be some seriousness in there too. But we're just going to talk, and I have some oddball questions lined up for you, and I'm sure you do the same. But yeah, man, let's just have some fun. What do you think?
I think it sounds like a plan.
All right, man. Let's get this show started. We're going to give each other, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes or whatever happens. And we're just going to answer some of these questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, man. Send it.
All right, brother. Question number 1. What is the best thing about Nickelback?
Man, like knife in the heart right there. Well, I guess we need to define what the word best means. You know, that means that there's some sort of, quantitative or qualitative basis that you're basing this off. Nah, man, you know, Nickelback, what the best thing about them is they do sound good.
Yes, they do.
I'll give them that. The music sounds great. I mean, the songs are catchy and all that. The rub with me is like there's a disconnect between who Nickelback is as a band and what their music is. It's almost like if 3 Doors Down was trying to play like 5 Finger Death Punch stuff. It's just like it doesn't match, man. It's like no, something's not right here, you know. But nah, it's definitely they're pretty good. They're definitely not something I listen to willingly, you know. I will admit, but
I know what you're saying. We've had discussion a good bit. You know, John and I are both audio nerds, and we have our own studios, yada yada yada. But we've talked about the Nickelback thing a good bit because I use Nickelback a lot, and I don't like Nickelback as far as a band, but man, I tell you what, their mixes and their guitars, their drums, bass tones are just phenomenal. And of course, a lot of that credit goes to who mixes those records. But I use a lot of their stuff to reference, you know, my material or some material that I'm working on. That's the best thing that I like about Nickelback. And their songs, man, their songs are cheesy and they get a lot of flack for that. But you know,
But they definitely latch on to the cliche stuff, which is fine. I mean, you know, I guess you could look at, you know, us growing, you know, in our era, you know, like Guns N' Roses. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of cheesy cliche kind of stuff. It's just like Nickelback is just kind of continued on to that term, and I'm definitely not putting them in the same realm as Guns N' Roses. But you know what I mean? The whole sex, drugs, rock and roll, and blah blah blah. But yeah, it was definitely very cliche. Like the whole Rockstar song. I mean, oh God, that's so bad, so bad.
I agree, man. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship with that band, and you know what, man? They're selling tons of records, making tons of money, but that kind of goes along to like, you know, nothing against the people that like Nickelback, but man, folks, there is so much better music out there as far as music goes than Nickelback. And yeah, I love their mixes and their guitars and their drums and their bass tones. Even Chad's vocals, man. He's a hell of a singer in my opinion. I like his tone. I like his delivery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've definitely got it together. You know, for sure. You know, and I'm definitely. It's not even their success. I mean, I think that's awesome. You know that they could be a rock band in an era when really rock is not that hot. You know, I mean, I'm not saying they've had like recent success, possibly. I think Godsmack, as of late, I think their song "Bulletproof" just like went platinum, which that's like unheard of in this day and age. You know, with R&B and hip hop and you know the things that kind of drive the music industry now. So, yeah, it's kind of a dog eat dog world. So, like when you see a rock or a metal, I mean, you really can't call Nickelback metal. No. You know what I mean? When you see something like that actually has like guitars and all these other things, you're like, okay, oh yeah, you know, kind of pull for them. But you also kind of like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But you know, if I had credit in their songs, like, you know, if my guitar tones were those tones, man, I'd be a happy dude. Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know like a lot of people kind of spin off this and but the Metallica one, the Saint Anger snare. Yeah. Everybody like hates that snare, right? But actually that snare sounds better. But no, you think from an engineering standpoint, you know, as a producer, whatever like that is an undistinguishable snare.
Yes.
Like think about that for a second, you know? Like, because we're all trying to chase, you know, Josh Wilbur's snare or, you know, whoever, insert your favorite producer. But, you know, there's a lot of copycats out there, but whoever, I think it was Sneap or Wallace, I don't know, whoever done that St. Anger one, he definitely went for broke. He's like, no, we're going to crank that mid-range up to a fine pointed bell curve and distort it.
Oh, I know. But you know what? That sucker is famous. I mean, that snare sound is almost as famous as the band, you know?
Yep.
So I, you know, we've often talked about, man, what does it take to get broke through in the business, you know? And I still don't know, but I guess it's stuff like that just, you know, you go out on the limb and you do something crazy, and all of a sudden, as crappy as that snare sounds, it's huge. Everybody knows about it. So, you know, something worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
man, you know what? We ran that question way over 5 minutes, brother.
Well, we were two audio nerds, so that was going to happen.
Yeah,
that was definitely going to happen.
All right, that's my sound effect for we need to move on to a new question.
All right.
All right, brother. I'm going to lay another one on you. Are you ready?
Yeah, send it.
All right. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Time travel.
Ooh, time travel.
Yeah. I hate waiting. Secretly, I don't say I'm a very impatient man. I am patient, but on the inside, I'm not. I'd rather let's go.
Yeah, I like that. I never thought of that. I was thinking of this question too. How am I going to answer? I love that, man. That makes so much sense. You know, there's nothing worse than and I hate to say I'm an impatient man, but I think we all are. I mean, that's just part of life. We all want to get where we're going right now, and if you're in my way, Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of it. Well, what predecessed that answer was we were talking in our pre-interview. You know, I went to Costco today, and yeah, so there's that, right? You know, so I was already primed for that. I'm like, yeah, I could just avoid that, but no, it's all good. That's mine. What would be your superpower?
Man, I kind of already have this superpower. Sarcasm, man. That is my thing, man. Anybody that knows me, I probably do it a little bit too much. Especially my wife. She'll give me that look, give me that that slice to the throat look, and like, hey, that's enough.
And you're like, what? I'm just getting started.
Yeah, I was like, there's plenty of more where that came from.
Yeah.
And my poor wife, my daughter has picked up on that stuff too. And oh my gosh, she is a sarcasm every 2 words or something, sideways with it. I'm like, oh man, what did I do?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Sarcasm. Yeah. Or some extended sarcasm.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of that. I'm like, man, that's my gig right there.
That's awesome.
And we killed that question. That was a quick one there.
Yeah.
That's the goal of this show. Just wrap them up and ship them out.
All right.
Hey, do you have any good questions for me?
Actually, I was gonna kind of hijack your show for just a quick second.
Heck yeah.
And spin 2 to you.
Oh boy.
Should putting ketchup on a steak affect one's credit score?
Yes, and it should raise the credit score.
Oh, you're a ketchup eater, aren't you?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I love ketchup. I put ketchup on just about everything, and I don't know. I just like it. That's my answer. Yes, it should affect it, and yes, it should raise your credit score.
Oh, it should raise it. Okay. See, my answer would be it should definitely lower one's credit score. Because you obviously have a history of making poor decisions.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. I see a little bit of sarcasm in that question.
Yeah. So my second one I got for you, this might be you might have to think about this one. So if you could only keep 3 apps on your phone, which ones would you keep?
Oh, buddy. Oh, 3? Just 3?
Just three.
Oh my gosh.
So, and like your typical cell phone stuff, like text, phone call, that doesn't count, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Typical communication stuff.
Oh man. All right. Let me think here. 3 apps. Well, I'm going to go number 1. I'm not even going to rate these. I'm just going to give you 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Dropbox is one of them. And that's simply because everything that I do, music related or anything, pictures, you name it, I'm putting that stuff in Dropbox. So yeah, I got to have my Dropbox, man. That sucker, that thing is saving my butt, and a lot of stuff is in that sucker. And I'm going to give you number 2 as, man, wow. I'm going to say YouTube, man.
Okay.
I use YouTube a ton for, not just entertainment, but there is tons of things to learn from, quality videos from YouTube. And that's been a resource of mine for a long time. Music, barbecue, heck, just about anything. I will reference YouTube at some point about whatever it is that I'm, getting ready to do, or a song I'm going to write, or, anything. I will reference YouTube at some point. And let me think here. The third one, gee, for creepers. Man, I'm going to say, wow. I'm going to say my camera app, and I know that's part of the phone, but I use the camera a lot, and I capture a lot of, pictures and a lot of videos of my daughter and family, and a lot of the barbecue things that I do, and a lot of BS really, but I use that sucker a lot, and I need a camera. So those are my 3, man.
Okay.
What about yourself?
So Dropbox, YouTube, and your camera.
Yep.
Okay. For myself, I would definitely This is going to be really nerdy. I'm probably going to lose some street cred here. Audible. I would have to have my Audible app.
Oh, yeah.
That's audiobook.
Yeah.
My podcast app. And there's a ballistics calculator app that I actually use quite frequently. It's called Streetlock. That would have to be my 3.
Nice.
And I guess the reason being is like, I don't, you were talking about like Dropbox and stuff like that, like Dropbox, Google Drive, YouTube. Like, I don't really consume a lot of stuff like on my phone per se. So maybe I'm like outside of the norm. Like I use my phone, I guess more as I don't want to say everybody uses it as a tool, but if I'm going to watch a YouTube or something like that, I'm going on my main machine.
Yeah.
So my main machine like takes up a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's other things. So.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're right about, security-wise, stuff like that. I mean, I think the phone might be a little bit more vulnerable than your machine at home. Of course, I might be completely wrong, but I feel like the phone is more vulnerable. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, with the phone, I mean, especially like if you're doing, you're backing up a file to Dropbox, you're susceptible to, your Wi-Fi signal or whatever like that, which can be done in a pinch, right? It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And actually, as you said that, like, you was just talking about Dropbox, like, one thing I've noticed with the iOS stuff, like, sometimes I'll lose some pictures, like, if I delete them from my phone, because I'm thinking they're already on my main one,
Ooh.
And so it would be like, okay, well, when you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, I could probably start backing stuff up.
Yeah. Yeah. I do that a lot, man. And I'm Dropbox is my biggest thing that I use, I would say. And it's freaking huge.
Yeah. It's freaking huge.
Huge. And that's with a Y. Yes, it is. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, how about that freaking crazy ass presidential debate the other night? Oh, my gosh. I'll give you 20 seconds to say whatever you want to say about it.
I would just have to say that it's kind of I'm disappointed. I think the American people should be disappointed too across all fronts. And that's about it. I kind of expect more from the leadership of the free world. That's about all I'm going to say.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. That freaking shit show was a shit show. And I am so disappointed. And regardless of what candidate you're going for, both of those candidates should have enough, man, I'm just angry.
Yeah.
That's, that sums up America right now, right there. And it pisses me off. And, I'm a turd just as much as everybody else at any given time. But, America needs to have some damn good leaders. And those two guys are not what I consider damn good leaders. I will stop right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, now that we got that ickiness out of the way.
Yeah. Ever since that, man, I just was like, come on, guys. I don't care what side you're on. And this goes to the audience out there too. I honestly don't care what side you're on. I really don't. Mm-hmm. I get along with anybody, and I value the differences in Americans, and I value that. It's just priceless when you have differences. I mean, that's what it's all about, is being different and getting along. And that's where we got to go, folks. We got to get along. Mm-hmm. But that display of bullshit, and I say bullshit because it is, and I hate to use, dirty language, but we got to do better. America, we got to do better. If you're listening to this, just be better. Be better at whatever it is that you do. Be the best at it. I don't care if you're a freaking, I don't care if you polish shoes for a living or if you're the dang president. Be damn better.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a soapbox just for a second. I'll keep it short, but, we kind of touched on this in Messenger. Oftentimes, like in the military, for example, like if you're a squad leader or a platoon leader, that the men underneath them will emulate or reflect that leader's qualities, traits, and all that, right?
Yep.
But I think, when you get into something like politics, it's almost like a reversal. Politicians, they basically embody, the underbelly of the culture, or in this instance, American culture, right? And so if we're constantly bickering and outraged and just being completely irrational and all this other stuff, well, the politician's like, well, this is what they like, like we've kind of gone down to a point to where like reasoned discussion and common sense across all fronts have just we've all but abandoned it.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to pay attention to that. It's not clickbaiting, right?
Right.
It's like, oh man, he said this and he said hashtag this. And it's like, oh dude, all right.
You are correct, man. Oh, I just want to, All right, dude.
On to a lighter note. Yes or no, pineapple on pizza?
Oh, brother, that is a big yes. And I say that with capital YES. Heck yeah. Love that stuff. What about you?
Yeah. Same.
Oh, I asked for extra pineapple myself.
Ooh, extra pineapple. I don't know. It's a little bold right there.
Oh, dude. There's, pizza is, definitely. Pineapple for sure. No question about it. You can put whatever else you want. As long as you give me your pineapple, I'm in.
Okay. Do you prefer the pineapple with pepperoni or that fake bacon, that Canadian bacon?
You give me anything with pineapple, I'm eating it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not picky. Pineapple, heck, you can even take off all the cheese and the pepperoni. Give me pineapple and some bread.
I don't know. Now you're getting into that weird territory.
Yeah, I might have been BSing there, but yeah, you know what I mean. I got a question for you. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what is your favorite carry pistol? And I want your correct answer. I want to know, what is your favorite carry pistol, and tell me why.
My favorite carry pistol would have to be the Springfield XDS.
Ooh.
Well, why? It was because I carry it. Now, I do think there are others out there with like a better trigger, when it comes to like target and all this, like going to the range and stuff. I like the XDS because, it does have the redundant safeties. It's got the backstrap safety. When I'm carrying it, either appendix or on my side, I know things can happen. I won't say things can happen, but I just like that redundant safety. Like if I don't have a positive purchase on that pistol, it will not go bang.
Exactly.
And I've trained enough to where I feel confident that I can get that positive purchase. And so, that's my answer. Springfield XDS. What about yourself?
What caliber? What caliber do you like?
22. Nah. 9 mil all the way.
All right. I knew that answer. You told me that a long time ago. Yeah. Hey, that's a good pistol, man. There's no doubt about it. That is a freaking great pistol. Mm-hmm. I agree with that choice. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, my favorite one is my little old trusty Sig Sauer 380. I love that little thing, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And, the main reason, it's compact and, it just fits anywhere I want to carry it. I mean, I can just slide it in my pocket. It holds 6 rounds. I'm comfortable with that pistol. I know everybody will be like, that's a 380, blah, blah, blah. But I tell you what, man, I've shot that thing enough. I've shot weapons enough to know you hit what you're aiming at, and if it's vital, it doesn't matter. And I'm a good shot with it, not to be bragging, but I can shoot that sucker really well, and it shoots really well. And to Sig, man, I mean, that sucker's never jammed once. It's got all the things that I want out of a pistol. It's small, it's durable, it's reliable, and it does the job. And I think it would do the job. Not that I know, but it shoots straight, and it's easy to carry, and I love it. And that's my pick, man.
Yeah, that's the thing when with carry pistols, you want them to be to where you can carry it without burden. I'm a bigger dude. I could probably carry a commander size 1911, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
Right.
Is this going to be awkward? I'm like, I got to think about what I got to wear and blah, blah, blah. So something like with, your Sig, that's, you could probably do gym shorts and a t-shirt or pretty much anything in between.
Yeah.
And so that's nice, And the other thing too is, again, the training. A lot of people, I know we have a lot of new gun owners.
Yes. Oh, man.
In America now, since, everybody's been buying. But a lot of people think they can go out and shoot 50 or 100 rounds. They're like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Like, now you and I, we might have an extreme level of proficiency. I don't say that we have an extreme level of proficiency. We have an extreme idea of that level of proficiency, right?
Yes, sir. I agree.
Like thousands and thousands of rounds down range. Not everybody's going to do that. I understand.
Yep.
But definitely need to get out and shoot it more than once a year.
Yes. That leads me to another question. I just thought of this. What's your opinion on public ranges? Do you go to public ranges?
I do not.
Me neither, brother. And you know why? You hit on it just a few seconds ago. There are so many new gun owners. And I love that. I love that people are exercising their, 2A right. But I do not want to be on the range with a lot of those people, if you know what I'm saying.
No, but I agree. An incompetent or, somebody that's working on their competence. Now, if I'm working with you, say you're a new gun owner,
right?
A new gun person, I will work with you. But man, you give me 10 or 20 of those in a confined space, and I'm just gonna go home.
I agreed, man. It takes one idiot with a muzzle across your face, and it's game over.
Yeah. Like out here where I live, I mean, I've got plenty of friends, and there's farmlands and hayfields and stuff like that. I mean, those are our ranges,
right?
And usually, anybody that's coming out to shoot, they're all trusted people, and and even if they're like somebody brings a friend, they kind of get the rundown. It's like, all right, this is how things work.
Yep,
this is what we're gonna do, and we can control it, right?
Yes, sir.
But we've got a local range here. It's a public range, and it's an indoor range. And man, just walking in there, I haven't seen anything grotesque or nothing, grotesque safety violations or nothing. But I can just tell the people that are working in there, their stress level has got to be through the roof, man.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I think it's cool we have public ranges, but you won't see old Jon Tate.
Me neither. Oh man, I'm lucky though. I live in the country, and I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, if I have to go to a gun range, I'm passing. I might do some dry fire training in the house or something like that. But I'm not going to no ranges.
No, sir.
Well, man, I tell you, you got any other questions? We're at the 30-minute mark.
All right, I got one final question for you, Steve.
All right, buddy, shoot.
You can only pick one to listen to for the rest of your life. One.
Gosh.
Five Finger Death Punch or Nickelback. Full circle.
That was nice. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, well, man, I'm going to default to why I listen to Nickelback and why I listen to Five Finger Death Punch. And I listen to both of them for the quality of their mixes and why they're popular. Really, I try to dissect it. You know what I mean? Because they both, in my opinion, are equally, I don't know what to say, equally crappy. You know what I mean?
They're good, but they're also equally annoying to some degree, Yeah.
Great word. That's it. That's what I was looking for. Perfect word. I would have to default, man, I don't know. I like both bands equally as much, and I hate them equally as much. I'll just go ahead and say I'll pick Nickelback as my default shitty band.
Fair enough. Well, I guess I'll be in the other camp. I'll do the Five Finger Death Punch. And we can get together and share shitty music amongst each other,
Yeah. All right, brother. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, dude. We're about the 30-plus minute mark. And, hey, I just want to thanks, dude. I'm glad you come on the show. I had a good time.
Yeah, likewise. I appreciate coming on, and thank you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing your podcast grow, and we'll be in touch.
Hey, thanks a lot, John. Hey, all you folks out there, if you want to catch Jon Tate's episode on my Life Hacks show, go visit episode 1 of the Life Hacks podcast. This has been a quick hacks edition of the Life Hacks podcast. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe, tell all your friends, show me some sponsorship. I don't care. But yeah, this has been a quick hacks edition, folks. Until next time, I'll see you later.